we are going to be doing dominoes, non-epoxy dominoes. On the second part of this video, I will show you how they look. I will take them out the pack and things of that nature. But for now, I'm going to show you how to get the image for the dominoes in and get it cut. I'm going to be using the Cricut Design Space program to put the picture inside of, and I am going to show you all how to start the cut and how to do that. But I already have a pack that has been cut, sprayed, sealed, so I can go right into the next video. So the first thing you'll want to do is, once you have a picture, I'm just going to pull a picture because I don't have an order for dominoes. I do have some that I cut for myself that I was going to do to have in my store. And I'm going to do those for the second part of this live, but I don't really have an order for any right now, which I've had tons of orders. These sell really, really well on Etsy. So let's find a picture. I'll go here. Someone has sent me a picture recently. So we'll use this picture here. I'm just going to save it into my computer as Domino. I'll just do Dom. And I save it into a folder that I would know. And I do want to brighten that picture up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is go into here, and I'm not sure how updated anyone's computers are, but I'm sure you all have this that you can do on your computer. You could also do it in Word. I haven't learned to do it in Photoshop yet, but I'm sure you can. I know there's tons of things you can do in Photoshop. But I'm just going to pull the picture and click this button here to adjust it. So first thing I want to do is take out that top part, and I'll leave it just like this. I'm not going to save it yet. What I'm going to do is do some adjustments, and I'm going to brighten the picture up a little bit like that, and then probably do some clarity on it. And that gives it a better look, just a tad bit better look, especially with us printing it. I'm going to save it. Save it as the same thing so that it'll overwrite what's already in there. And then I'm going to upload it onto my design space. That's not it. That's one from yesterday. So there we have it. Complex, so that it doesn't change anything on the picture. If you do any of these, it will change like the colors of your picture. But since we have multiple colors, we're going to do complex and continue and just save it into our design space application. And I have it's taken a long time, but I have a project that's labeled Dominoes on here, and I just come in here and I create dominoes every time I get an order. I already have, like, all of these have been made into dominoes. All of these pictures over here, I've done this so many times, but I just leave them there because sometimes I do get multiple orders, especially when it's families. I have a customer contact me and want another set for someone, or if it's a loved one that passed away. I think for this particular image right here, I did maybe like 5 sets for it. One lady ordered, and then she contacted me back and ordered a couple of more for friends. So I just leave them up here for a while. Some of these are really old, maybe over a year old in here, so they probably won't be contacting me to get it done again, but that's fine. Once it starts moving like really, really slow, I'll go down to the bottom and start just deleting some of these out. Because, design space will slow down sometimes. So that's one thing you can do. I leave them in here pretty much so that I can know the dimensions. So this one here, it'll be 0.855 by 1.9. And this is the dimensions for the dominoes that I received from Walmart, that I purchased from Walmart. the ones that I purchased from Family Dollar, which I have a Family Dollar in my plaza now, and I also have a Dollar General right across the road. So I do purchase from those three stores. I think the ones that I purchased from Dollar General has a little bit different measurement. I also purchased these at Five and Below. So Five and Below, I think they're $5. And Family Dollar, I think they're like 5.25. Walmart, I think they're almost like $7. So that's like the last place I'll look for them. But for these particular dominoes, we're gonna do the measurements that I have here, which is 0.855 by 1.9. So I always do 0.855, and then I'll open up this little box. You can do it here or you can do it up here, and then you'll want to change this one to 1.9. So it does distort the image a little bit. If it distorts it too much to where it cannot be read or it cannot be seen, I will contact the customer and let them know that I can't use that image, and I'll print it out on like a regular printer paper and show them how it looks. And I've had people that still wants to use the image because of it's the only image they have of maybe a loved one, or they'll just swap out the image. So what I'm going to do next, this is pretty much it as far as designing. Unless you're doing a design for someone, this is all you have to do. So we're going to go ahead and click make it. In a normal double six domino set, there are 28 pieces. What I do, I used to do 28, and we just go up here into this box here where it says project copies and type in the number 28. This is what I used to do. But now I go ahead, it can fit 3 more on there. So I'll go ahead and do 31 just in case I mess up on one, or one doesn't come out right, one doesn't get sprayed right, something happens, I'll have these extra 3 pieces and won't have to put in a whole nother sheet just to um fix that. You don't have to mirror. The only thing you have to do is put in either, I now use water slide paper. I have this same I've done these dominoes so many times, and I have a YouTube video on YouTube where I used sticker paper. When I first started out doing these, I was using sticker paper, which it works perfectly fine. If you find a good brand of sticker paper, which I do have a really nice good brand, I can post it in the link. I mean, post it in a group. But if you can find a good sticker paper works just as well. The thing about the sticker paper, some people buy waterproof sticker paper and don't um they print out their images and then says that, oh, it's not waterproof, everything is smearing, it's not drying. I know how to fix that. It's not the sticker paper, it's how you're printing it. So we're going to send this to the printer. Whether or not I print it on sticker paper or water slide paper, here's what I do. You want to select the printer that you want to be printing from. Decline. Select the printer that you want to be printing from, which is my HP Envy. So I'm going to select that one. And then I'm going to use this here, use system dialog, to pull up the printer's properties. And it takes a while, just a few, there you go. So when it pulls up, sometimes if you've used a different printer within the last time that you printed, it might be a different printer highlighted. But for me, it does have the printer that I need highlighted. And once it's highlighted, you want to hit preferences. And then you want to change your settings here. So with sticker paper and any kind of glossy paper, the water slide paper, you want to put it at its best. And the only other thing I do change, I normally put HP photo paper, but I've noticed that it prints the same if I just put other glossy inkjet printers. So that's what I normally pick. Now, if I clear all this out, well, I'm not going to clear it. But what I have done, yeah, I want to show you. So I am going to clear it. So let's put that back normal and put that back to plain paper. So what I have done is I've saved this. So I can just go in, hit print, and then click OK. And it'll print once I hit this print button. In order to save it, you do the same thing that if you do sublimation and you have changed your settings in your sublimation printer, it's kind of like the same way. So what you'll do is you'll just change your settings. So I'm going to change this to best and then other, and then you're going to click save as, and then you'll just type in what you want to save it as, glossy paper, whatever it is that you want to name it, and click OK. And that'll save it in there. And now all you'll have to do is just click that button and then click OK and then click print. I'm not going to print this because I already have one printed. Once you print it, you'll want to go into design space. Well, this is going to pop back up. Let me go ahead and print it. Just print it on some regular copy paper. So I can go through and walk through and show you all how to do the cutting. Print. I'm not going to bring up the dialog. I'm just going to let it print because I don't want to waste the extra ink. So I am printing this. I am going to switch out my camera, and then I'll come back and show you all how to cut it and apply it to the dominoes. I'll also show you how the dominoes look, how they come packaged, and things of that nature. Thank you all for tuning in. Okay, I am back. We're going to finish up this live video about how we go do the dominoes. This here is a set of dominoes. This is the set that I get from Family Dollar. Let me actually put this music down because then they'll try and not save my video. And I don't got time to be putting all this stuff up saying I don't own the rights to it. Just pause it. Okay. So you just take it, you open it up. Regular set of dominoes. The paper that I'm actually going to be using today, I know we've discussed the sticker paper and we've discussed the Waterslide. I'm using Waterslide. I have completely switched over to using just the Waterslide. So once they're open, this is how they come. They already have the dots on them, all of that. So I just kind of fold it over and open it up. Waterslide paper that I use is this here. I purchased it from Amazon. It's the Sunny Scopa brand. It's my favorite brand. I've used about 3 different brands, and once I switched to this, I have not gone back to any of the others or tried anything new. I use white Waterslide for the dominoes, even though it's going to go on the back of white, like they're white on the back. I still use the white Waterslide because the picture shows up a little bit better on the white Waterslide. Make sure that if you're going to use this, you get the one for inkjet printers. If you have an inkjet printer, if you have a laser printer, you'll want to get the one for a laser printer. So, Sunny Scopa. And it's like a regular sheet of paper. It is glossy. And if you have never done a Waterslide, we're going to do that today, so you'll learn how. Because I am going to use a Waterslide. Sticker paper works well too. This is just a regular piece of copy paper from the image that you just seen on the last live. And I'm just going to load that in. I don't have it plugged up. Oh, it's up. It's not turned on. So let's get that turned on. Pull my charger out. If you do not have a Cricut yet and you're thinking about getting one, I would say Air Explorer 2 is what this is. It works perfectly. But the maker is wireless, I believe. It is completely wireless. I have so many things plugged up to my computer that my USBs are all full, and I have, I think, 8 total, like 4 on the front, 4 on the back. But I'm always pulling one out just to plug this up, and it gets kind of frustrating. So if you're going to be printing on sticker paper, what I normally do is I would put my settings on paper. That way, on sticker paper, it still peels off like a sticker. If you put it on the sticker paper setting, it is going to cut all the way through, and then you'll have to try and peel it apart from the backing. when I use the Waterslide paper, I'm going to go ahead and get this started to cutting. When I use the Waterslide paper, once you print out your Waterslide, you'll want to spray it. Water slides have to be sealed. Inkjet water slides, I should say. If you have a laser printer, you do not have to seal it. This is what I use to seal my water slides. It's just spray paint, clear, glossy spray paint. That's it. There is Mod Podge spray that can be used. I mean, people use all different kinds of sealers. Here's another sealer that I have from Cricut, which is still a spray paint. I have never used this. I've had this for at least like a year, maybe even a year and a half, and I've never used it. I became a rustoleum person, and I really like rustoleum, so I've been using rustoleum ever since. As you can see, my printer did not read the registration marks. I have had this comment on my YouTube page so many times, people are asking use a high glossy paper, or even if you're just running out of black ink and you don't want to change it out because it's still printing a perfectly good color. So what I do, you see it stopped. It told, the computer actually says print then cut error. The machine cannot read the cut sensor marks. Make sure you're using white material. It is positioned correctly on the mat, and the cut sensor marks are perfectly printed. Try again, press the flash and go button on your machine. More help if you need it. So what I do to fix this, and I've said it in a few of my other videos as well. So I'm going to scoop this back just a tad bit and show you how I fix it. So I'm going to pull it out, and I'm going to take my handy dandy Sharpie, and I'm going to darken my registration lines. It does not have to be perfect. I know a lot of people say they can't draw a perfect line. What I have noticed, I did a lot of cuts for graduation fans. Oh, we're going to go through a graduation season too, you all. So I can't wait to show you all the lines we're going to do for that. But during that time, I realized that I was just doing this to mark my lines, to make them darker. The thing about it is you need to move your hand. So not just moving your fingers or your wrist, move your entire arm, and you'll get a better straight line. So that's all I'm going to do, is darken my lines. Sometimes you have to go through them twice. For this particular piece of paper, it's just paper. I should only have to do it once. You can take it off the mat and do it. You can leave it on the mat and do it. This mat is an old mat. I use old mats when I'm doing paper. Because even if I have the light, I think it's the purple one or the blue one, I'm not sure which one is strong light. I use the standard most of the time. But if you have the light and you put a piece of paper on there and you take it off, it still leaves residue. And so I just keep old mats for paper. That way it comes right up. So let's try it again. I'm going to click go. And it should read our registration marks this time. So that's one handy dandy trick you can use if it is not reading your registration marks. Looks like it's reading them now. So, spraying your water slides. Once again, you're going to use this 2 times clear or whatever sealer you have. You're going to spray it once and let it sit and dry for about 10 minutes. You're going to spray it again. Let it sit and dry for about 10 minutes. And then I'll spray it a 3rd time if needed. But most of the time, I do a heavy spray. It's clear, so I do a heavy spray. And I usually only spray once, maybe twice. And once it's sprayed, you're going to, for water slide paper, I almost have to darken my registration marks. So you'll want to darken your registration marks and then run it through your cutting machine. And once it print out, you'll get perfectly sized pieces for your dominoes. So these here is what I have to place on a set of dominoes. And I had these cut for a while now, because I knew that I wanted to do a set for demonstration purposes outside in my store. So we're going to give this a little time to cut, and I'm going to move it back and show you all how to do a water slide. For the water slide process, you're going to need a bowl of water. Room temperature water is fine. You don't want it too cold and you don't want it too hot. I buy these paper towels that seem to be like half sheets of paper towels. So I use about 3 of these. Most of the time I think I could just use 2, but I use 3 to put my stickers down on. So we'll be using paper towels, water, and then of course our dominoes, and then our paper that we're using to apply it. One reason why I switched, one of the reasons, it's a few reasons why I switched, but one of the reasons why I switched from doing sticker paper to using a water slide is that once the sticker paper, if you have a really good brand of sticker paper, once it sticks, you can't remove it to replace it. So with the water slide, you have more leeway with moving it around to making sure that it's centered if it needs to be centered, or just moving it if it's not placed right. So that was like one of my main reasons for switching. Oh, we got another new product in today too, you all. Let me show you. I have not gotten these up on the website yet because they literally just came in about an hour ago and I've been busy. But we have these in. You can't really see the bling in this video, but oh my god, they are gorgeous. Both silver and gold. And the good thing about them, the ovals and the other heart necklaces that we have, they have those cheesy chains. These actually have the rope chain. Okay, so our cut is done. I'm going to close this up, cut it off, and scoot it back because I'm going to use this space right here. So I have my water, paper towel for laying down stuff on, and then my extra one, and the one that I'll be starting off with. And if you want to see how those cut, it cut pretty much perfectly, as you can see. And then if some sticks in there, you just want to pull them out. But that's the size that we get. And this is just trash because, like I said, I printed on paper just to show you all how it cuts and how to cut it. Okay, so with our sticker paper, normally I would throw a few of them in at a time. But I'm going to probably be working slow, so I don't want it to I don't want it to roll up. If you leave the water slides in the water too long, they will roll up. I use these to place them in. As you know, it comes in 2 rows. So as you can see, if you have a water slide, it should slide right off the backing. And that's what it did. I don't wet the back of here. If I was doing like a tumbler or something like that, I would wet the back. But I just slide it right on. It goes on there. Then you'll want to take your paper towel and drain it, I would say. But just get all that water from underneath. Sorry if I'm not in the camera. And then there's your domino. Focus. It's actually a really clear picture, but I don't know if it's focusing. There we go. It's a picture of me. So that's one. And like I said, I just line them back up in here. And this is what I mean by leaving it in too long. It'll start rolling up. And you can still use it if it's rolled up. I put that on upside down, but it doesn't really matter. It's a domino. Drain it. We'll get all the water out. Move it around and position it how you want it. Once it's positioned and most of the water is out, it won't slide anymore. I keep moving out of the camera. I guess I'm going to have to do another one for you all. So yeah, once the water is all out of it, it will no longer slide anymore. So let's put another one in. If you have any questions, comments, now's the time to go ahead and put those in and I can answer them while I'm live. The dimensions were 0.855 by 1.9 for these particular dominoes. If you have dominoes that are not my same brand dominoes, what I do to measure, seems like a lot of people have issues with measuring. So I'm going to show you what I use to measure. Voila. Measuring tape. And I just take it and measure. So the actual domino is probably about 2 by 1.9, but by 9.9, but I did 1.85 by 1.9 because I didn't want it, with them being square, I didn't want that square piece to come over the rounded portion here. And that's rolling up on us, so let's get that out. And normally once I get one out, I'll throw another one in. That way, once I get this position, I have a little process that I do. But once I get this positioned and fully on here, that one should be ready to slide right off and go on to the next domino. So that's that. They take maybe about an hour to fully dry. My office is really, really hot. So what I'll do is just sit them under the heater here and they'll be dry within maybe about half hour. But it's nothing that you have to wait like 72 hours to give to a customer or anything like that with the epoxy dominoes. These are much quicker and much faster. Only thing is they can't be custom made as far as like your colors and things. But this is just another option you can use, another option you can put in your shops, in your store, to give customers an option. For these, I only charge about $25 for them. The actual dominoes cost about $1. I'm sorry, $5. And I'm using maybe $1 of sticker paper or Waterslide to add up costs, I should say. So about $6 total, and I charge $25 for a set of dominoes, these dominoes. My custom dominoes that I do with the epoxy, I sell those for actually $40. It's more work put into it. You have to put work into it over a couple of days, not just a session. One small session like this takes no more than a half hour to do completely. Minus the spraying of the Waterslide. If you were using sticker paper, then I would say a half hour, if not maybe an hour tops. So I'm not going to sit here and have you all watch me put all of these on here. Did you all have any other questions? Let's see. Yes, I do water slides on my epoxy dominoes as well. Like which ones did I post? I don't remember the last ones I did, but I did some. I have some that I'm going to do. I have a bunch of sets that I've started, but I haven't put anything on the back of them. And I can actually come live and show you all how I apply that, but it's exact same way. I put Waterslide on it, except I top it and with another coat of epoxy. to seal it in. I tried coating these with epoxy to seal these in. They really don't need sealing.